Hello everybody, this is Allsouth Gaming and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. In the previous episode, we went to the kidnapper's hideout to try and rescue the Justice Minister's daughter. Only to find out it wasn't the Justice Minister's daughter who was kidnapped, but instead Detective Jowd's daughter, Camilla. Yikes, talk about a case of mistaken identity. Unfortunately, we were not able to rescue her. Oof, so, yeah. Gonna have to find another route to get the Justice Minister on our side. It looks like the kidnappers made a big mistake. The girl in the trunk was Detective Jowd's daughter, Camilla, not the Minister's daughter. When I got back to the Justice Minister's office, things were getting even more out of hand. The devastated man was being grilled by the fiery detective lady. I told Lynn what I had found out about the kidnapping, that it wasn't the Justice Minister's daughter who had been abducted. That the kidnappers had been holed up in Camilla's old house, and that they sensed my presence and were already gone. But Camilla? Why do they have Camilla? Her father isn't the stupid old Justice Minister. I think the stupid old part is a little uncalled for. It looks like the kidnappers made a mistake somehow. Poor girl, kidnapped for the ransom of her own father's execution. It's just too much. It's a cruel twist of fate, I agree. And then there are those other twists, too. The kidnappers winding up and using Camilla's old house as their hideout. There's no way it could be just coincidence. And them sensing my presence. They seem to know about the powers of the dead. I just don't understand any of it. I told you before, Detective, that I want you to stand back. Who cares about distance at a time like this? Look, Mr. Minister, it wasn't your daughter that was kidnapped. Don't try to pretend you didn't hear what we were saying. Ah! How can I believe in you? I'm a realist! Please! If you don't believe what we say, see for yourself. Just call home and... I've tried calling 100 times. My wife won't answer. She won't? It's complicated. Oh, why does life have to be such a complicated thing? Yeah, that's life for you. But if she doesn't answer, doesn't that mean everything's normal? It doesn't prove it! I'm being watched. I can't have the police go check for me. Besides, if the execution isn't carried out tonight, then the hostage will be killed. What difference does it make if it's not my daughter? I mean, fair point, and kind of noble of him, I guess? Hoo-wee, that's quite a pickle there, mister. Quite a pickle. Miss me, baby? Inspector Cabanella. I have a little report for you, Mr. Minister. The escaped prisoner has been apprehended. I thought you might like to see him, so here he is. Detective Jowd? Gotta love how they put the sword back but didn't bother to remove the globe. Odd priorities? Detective Jowd, I'm so sorry. I tried. I know that you're innocent. I just can't prove it. I'm so sorry. Lynn, please, don't apologize to me. Ah, the beautiful love between a teacher and student brings a tear to my eye. You knew, didn't you, Inspector Cabanella, that the execution was tonight? I don't believe I had any obligation to tell you. And you're fine with this? I mean, you know as well as I do. Detective Jowd could never have done such a thing. Oh, come on now, baby. I know no such thing. Huh? I know two things to be true and two things only. One, he was given the death penalty. And two, he tried to escape. What else could I do but haul him in, baby? If that's the case, why did you bring him here? Whatever do you mean, young lady? He escaped from prison, right? So why didn't you just take him back to the prison? I think you only brought him here to brag about your accomplishment. Isn't that right, Inspector? For your own selfish reasons? So were all those rumors about you true? The only thing you care about is a spotless record? Is that more important to you than saving a friend? Everybody has certain principles they can't go back on, including me. You'll understand that someday, baby. That's enough, Lynn. But Detective Jowd, I'm a death row inmate who escaped from prison. This is how it should be. But... Now, there's no convincing the minister. Best to not bother with him. Let's see about talking to Jowd. So, Mr. Ghost, we meet again. There's something happened. Something about a kidnapping? Some kidnappers are saying they abducted the Justice Minister's daughter. Well, that's terrible. What's their demand? The carrying out of your execution. Tonight. Ha ha ha! I had no idea I was so hated. But the minister doesn't have to worry. I die and it's all over. Very simple. It's not that simple. Why not? Because it isn't really the minister's daughter who got kidnapped. It's Camilla. What? Camilla? I checked it out for myself. I'm positive. No, it can't be! By the way, Camilla told me something interesting. She said the one who killed her mother 5 years ago was Camilla herself. What? What are you talking about? Don't listen to him! I'm the one who shot her! I'm the one who shot Alma! Then when I'm executed tonight, that will be the end of it. Camilla won't have to suffer anymore after tonight. That is so stupid. And for a capable detective, you say some incredibly misguided things. You dying isn't going to end that girl's suffering. It'll just bring her new suffering. The only person's pain this execution is going to ease is yours. Is it true? Camilla said? Why don't you tell us what you know? To be honest, I still don't understand what happened that day. It was my wife's, Alma's, birthday. We came home from work, and she went in first. I looked for the shooter, but there was nobody to be found. There was nobody there besides Alma and Camilla. Just the two of them. The little lady's mother died right in front of her. Oh my, that's so horrible. Camilla told me about it. She was crying. She said the contraption she made did something it wasn't supposed to do. Made an impossible move. An impossible move? It's been 5 years since then, and I stopped thinking about it. I shot Alma. There's no other explanation. That's what I'd convinced everyone of. Even me. But tonight. You showed up and gave me an explanation I never would have thought of before. Powers of the dead, right? That day in that room, powers I didn't understand were at work. And if that's the case, it clears up all the mysteries. Yeah, maybe not at all. Maybe not all. There are a couple of other people who know about those powers. Yeah, not voicing this one. We've already seen it. Kidnappers who abducted Camilla knew about those powers. This is no ordinary kidnapping. Looks like my wife's case isn't coming to an end after all. I'm the only one who thought it was. Detective Jowd? There's still time before dawn. A little, anyway. How about you see this case through to the end before you die? Camilla was a quiet little girl, but she was good with her hands. She was a little genius about making elaborate toys and contraptions. There were two very strange points about that contraption. First was, of course, the firing of that gun. Right, that was an antique gun I had on display for years. So it wasn't part of the little lady's original design. Of course it wasn't. It was supposed to be a surprise for her mother's birthday. And the other strange point was the movement of that Cupid. Cupid? It was supposed to shoot its arrow without turning around. Somebody made a change to the contraption's design and then manipulated it. I don't know what to say. I didn't have time to think things through then. All I knew is I had to protect Camilla. I made a small adjustment to the scene and turned myself in. What kind of adjustment? The gun, of course. The gun, eh? Come to think of it. There was no gun there. Just a picture hanging on the wall. And of course not, because I secretly switched the gun out of that frame with the picture. I didn't believe what she told me about her contraption. But one thing was for certain. That gun was still smoking. So that gun really did shoot Alma. I had the gun before I went to the police. You hid it? Put it in a wooden box and gave it to a certain detective. What? You mean... That detective still thinks it's a music box. So that's what was in the box, huh? I got a different murder weapon ready to give to the police. My own pistol. And I did a few other things to make it look good. I won't go into the details. When I was all done, I turned myself in. Okay, so we got all that. Detective Jowd, is what you told us just now true? Yes, of course. In that case, there's still time. Still time? Time to solve the case that started 5 years ago. You didn't do it, Detective Jowd, and of course little Camilla didn't do it either. So the true perpetrator is still out there, and I'm going to prove it. For Camilla's sake. That sounds wonderful. Thank you, Detective Jowd. Lynn, where's that music box now? In Temsic Park. Camilla left it there. That gun is important evidence. You better go pick it up. Yes, sir. I'll go right now. Cabanella must be very confused right now about a conversation he wasn't a part of taking place. Because that all happened in the world of the dead. So, everything they're saying is product of that, but they're saying it in the real world, and Cabanella has no clue of any of that. Sissel, take care of Detective Jowd. And do something about the kidnapping so we can get the minister on our side. And yet again, I say, easy enough for you to say. What's going on? Deal me the deal, Mr. Death Row inmate. A little change in plans. My daughter has been kidnapped. I can't just go off to die without doing something. But you're in our custody, don't forget. Back at the prison, everybody's waiting for you with a special seat just for you, baby. Well, they're gonna need to make a new one considering the other one's been destroyed. Well, then I guess we'd better prove my innocence on the double. On the double, is it? You sound so determined, my old friend. I want to save Camilla, in more ways than one. That's all there is to it. I see, my old friend, in more ways than one. What say you, Mr. Minister? May we have your decision? Should the execution be carried out tonight as planned? Or should we hold off and wait for this important evidence to come in? The order still stands! Bring the prisoner back immediately and resume its enforcement. As you wish, Your Excellency. Please don't bow to me, and especially not that low. In that case, can I have your boys arrange a prison van to pick him up? Would you be so kind? Yes, sir! The van should take about 10 minutes, I'm guessing. Your escape tonight was brilliant. Will you show me another miracle in these last few minutes of yours, Mr. Death Row inmate? No, but I will. I'm glad to see Detective Jowd is all fired up now. I feel like I'm under the gun here. Even if Lynn does come through with the proof of Jowd's innocence, it'll be meaningless if Jowd or Camilla dies. I've gotta do something about that kidnapping somehow. Maybe I should ask for some advice from the capable detective here. Yeah, I do still gotta fill some time. I know I said 1 chapter per episode, but, yikes. Most likely the minister won't stop the execution. Not as long as there's any small chance his daughter is the one who was kidnapped. But she isn't the one, I'm sure of it. Oh, it would be great if we could prove that to the minister. Prove it? How? I doubt his wife is ever gonna answer that phone if we call from here. If we call from here, right? But the telephone works in both directions. What are you saying? What I'm saying is, only family members can solve a family problem. Hey, Mr. Ghost? Yes? I have to admit, I don't like depending on others. But you're the only one who can change this situation. Gee, detective. For these past 5 years, Camilla is the only thing that kept me going. I can't go meekly to the chair now. I hate to ask this, but would you mind saving me? Yeah, I'll try. Key to getting the Justice Minister to stop the execution is his wife and daughter, but is there a way? Shame we can't mess with the chair. Excuse me, Mr. Minister. I can't hear you, la 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 la! I'm sure you heard everything we've been saying. Are you telling me you don't believe any of it? Let me speak plainly, I don't trust you. There's somebody else whom I trust even less. Oh yeah? Who's that? Me! I can't explain your existence, it's not normal, but I'm pretty abnormal myself. So maybe you're a figment of my imagination. A delusion! Would you listen to a delusion? To be honest, I have no idea what you're talking about. The bit about you not trusting me, though. Good! Alright, well, it was worth a try. Well, hanging around here won't change anything. I've got 10 minutes before the prison van shows up. If I could just do something about the kidnapping in those 10 minutes, I guess the telephone lines are my only hope. Alright, we know exactly where to go. Lady Red's apartment. Yeah, just as I thought. This little girl is safe in her bed. Murder, execution, jailbreak, betrayal, and now kidnapping. The last link in a long chain of a sad fate lit a fire in Jowd's heart. The chance to turn it all around is right here in this room. I'm getting a strange premonition. Everything that happened so far tonight is related back to me in some way. And I bet this mistaken-ridden abduction does too. You have no idea, Sissel. I don't know why we get this as an illustration for clearing this quote-unquote chapter, but it's not like we could get the Justice Minister's office where this takes place, because we already got that from 2 chapters ago. New song, Cabanella, Tall and Lovely. I'll give you the first one. Okay then, well, rather short chapter that was just story, but I did say 1 chapter per video, and I'm sticking to it. Honestly, if it was any shorter, I would have had to combine this into 2 chapters, but So, we haven't really learned all that much, surprise, surprise, but we do know, as I stated a while ago, the Justice Minister's daughter is safe. Well, barring the cold. But we still have to convince him of that in order to call off the execution. Oh, well. At least we've lit a fire under Jowd and convinced him to not go through with the execution, if only for Camilla's sake. But anyways, we're going to take care of trying to convince the Justice Minister in the next episode. So, if you guys like what you see, please leave a like, subscribe for future content, don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notifications for when I upload, and please, leave a comment down below this video. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.